Hello, Craftin' Buddies. It's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting, coming to you on Tuesday, July 22nd at 11:20 p.m. So a little earlier than I've been coming on lately, it seems. Give me just a second to turn the volume down on my iPad and get that loaded up so I can see if anybody joins me. It's always fun to have people live with me to collaborate, comment, and join in the fun. So tonight I am going to recreate a card that I received recently at the Midwest Demonstrator event that I went to in Appleton earlier this month. July 12th, I think, was the date that I went. So I received this from another demonstrator. Let me grab my water. It always happens. I can be fine all day until I come online. So anyway, I received this from another demonstrator at the event, and I thought it was just such a pretty card. Very, I don't know, classic looking, I guess. Simple, not a lot of pieces. You've got a card base. She added a strip of cardstock cut to kind of mimic a piece of ribbon or a separation on the page. She stamped right on the base. She added an embossed element and then just added a ribbon. No other embellishments or anything. So I thought I would rework it a little bit. Very pretty. I thought I had this embossing folder. I think this is called Damask. If I do have it, I don't know where it is. I usually try to get all the embossing folders because I like texture. So I might have it, but like I said, I don't know where it is. So what I did was I ran it through with, let me get these pieces back on because I didn't glue these. I wasn't sure if I wanted them on there or not. So this is, hello, Linda. Welcome. So you can help me decide what looks good or not. So I did this with the sentiment from Label Me Grateful. I used this foliage piece to make these elements kind of monochromatic except for that pop of color. And what I ended up doing with these dies, because you get 2 of them for that branch, I was able to cut 6 of them out of just a layer. This is 4 by 5 1/4. So I was able to get 6 out of there. So I just cut all 6 so I could use up that piece of paper, and that can go in the recycle bin. And then I don't have another scrap. So I ended up doing this one with my Fern 3D embossing folder, which is on the last chance list. I don't remember if it's marked down or not, but that's what I used for that one. So I put this all together and I added this new ribbon that isn't available yet. It is from our Creativity Now, so it's either going to be an online exclusive or it'll be in the upcoming catalog. There's a September to December mini catalog coming out. But this is just a Misty Moonlight ribbon, and it's gorgeous. So you can't get that yet, but you can see how pretty it is. So I just did a layer on that. I attached it to the back of this embossed layer, which is up on dimensionals. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to add those branches. What do you think, Linda? With or without the little branches? I think it kind of adds a little something, something, you know. So we can think on that one. But that's how I started that one. And then what I thought I would do for the one for this class, if you will, is I'm still going to use the Very Vanilla. So I've got my card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, because I always try to do 2 so that I score once and cut once. And then I have 2 bases ready to go. And then I got some ribbon ready that I colored with my Misty Moonlight alcohol blend. And I thought I would see what it looks like instead of the shimmery ribbon. And I use the light. I have the light and the dark here. But when you're using a light-ish colored ribbon and you want to change it to whatever color you have your alcohol blends, if you take the brush side and just brush it along the ribbon. Now it can even be a colored ribbon. I have done this with a soft seafoam ribbon. I have done it with a balmy blue ribbon. I've done it with variegated ribbon. And you can't even really tell once you color it with the alcohol blends. You can't really tell that it was another color before. So I very gently use the side of my brush so that I don't break the tip. And we're done with that, and I'm just going to let that sit off to the side and dry a little bit. I think I used the light one for both of them, but we'll let that dry. And then what I want to try to do, I forgot on this one, I ran the whole piece through the embossing folder, and I intended on leaving that top part blank so that I could put the sentiment on it like the maker of this one did, and I totally forgot. So I am going to pull in the Eyelet 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to remember to do it this time. And all I'm doing is sliding it down. So this is my fold, but I'm sliding this layer down and trying to have it kind of centered here so that the flowers are ending at the same place. And this is just a 4 by 5 1/4 layer. So I'm going to, there, I think that's straight. I'm going to pull in my embossing machine, my Bossy Betty, and I'm just going to use the base plate and the embossing folder plate. So plate number 4 and plate number 1, I don't need anything else because this is a 3D folder. I always put it in so that the fold is first when I run it through machine. And when we take it out of here, now I don't have anything on that top portion, and I've got all the embossing at the bottom. So without the die cuts would look classic. It depends. Yeah, it'll depend on my mood. That's why I didn't glue them on yet. We'll see. All right, so let me put this away. And Linda, I apologize if there was a delay there, but it takes a little bit for my iPad to catch up with the comments. So now I'm going to just stamp this thank you on here. And I'll move it around because I know I've stamped in the center of this ink pad a lot, and I've probably pushed a lot of the ink away. And this is a red rubber stamp that's got foam in it, so I don't need my piercing mat for any kind of cushion. I'll just give it some nice even pressure. Ooh, gorgeous. I love that font on this Label Me Grateful. I love that. There's only 5 sentiments in that, but they're all really pretty. All right, so that's all cleaned up. And then what we're going to do is put this ribbon on here. And to do that, I am just going to add some tear and tape. I'm not even going to put the seal. Sometimes I put seal on here too, but I think that's probably just overkill. I probably don't really need it. But if I put the tear and tape, I'm pretty certain that's going to hold really well. I'm just always afraid that it's just going to come loose from the seal, particularly if I have it raised up on dimensionals like this one's going to be. All right, so let's do a bunch of dimensionals. Now, if you went to the online virtual album retreat, I would not make Karen proud with this. She uses lots of dimensionals. I use what I think is just enough. But it was funny because she would have She would probably have about 20 dimensionals on the back of this layer for a scrapbook page. All right, I got them all now. Make sure my card's opening the right way. Put this right on there. And it looks like my fold is just a little bit crooked. I hate it when that happens. Especially when I've already attached my layer. I picked up some little glue bits. There we go. All right, so there's that. And then, now I don't have to have a separate sentiment because it's right on there. And let's take this piece and just make our knot. Now this one I used glue dots on there. This one I thought I would just tie it on here and see how it looks. Because then it looks more like I tied the ribbon. I think I like it with the flashier ribbon, but this is subdued. There we go. Just adjust that a little bit. Cut off that jagged edge. And then I have a couple of these, but I don't really think it goes with the embossing folder. I like them on here because that's the Fern, but this one, I don't think I like it. What do you think, Linda? I don't think that one flows. So I think instead of those, I will find some gems maybe. Those, they're clear, but they're going to pick up color. These are frosted iridescent dots. I don't know if they're new or not. Oh, let's find something else. I think the antique pearls. I've been using these several times this week, so we'll use them again because they're pretty. I like the little ones. We'll just, I think I kind of want it just to look refined. There. That's it. A nice simple card. That would probably impress somebody who doesn't make cards. Somebody who makes cards might think, oh my gosh, that's really simple. But I think a recipient would like it. So there's the original. Yeah, the embellishments rather than the foliage leaves on there. I think I'll probably leave these on here unless I find an old die set. I think I have an old die set that might have some fern leaves or something that looks more fern-like. So this was the one I received. This was my first take. This was my second take. I think they're all really pretty. I do kind of like it with the pop of color, but I think I like the shimmer one first, or best, rather. So, I don't know if you can see it very good from your angle, but that ribbon is gorgeous. This one, it's just like a matte finish. Okay, and then this one was just cardstock for a ribbon look. So that's all I have for you tonight. Linda, I will see you tomorrow at my first Coffee and a Card. Hopefully we'll have it happen every month. So until next time, happy crafting.